Welcome to Freedom to Fuel, the talk show that will energize how you think about your utilities. Brought to you by Huntsville Utilities and the American Public Gas Association. Coming to you this week from the Harborside Ballroom of the Hyatt Regency in Savannah, Georgia, I'm Todd Long with the Huntsville Utilities Orchestra, introducing your host, the Colonel, John Olszewski.
Well, we couldn't get any better. Thanks, Greg, for coming. Greg Henderson, Southeast Gas, and Greg's a former chair, so he's been around a long time. So what you got, Todd?
Greg Henderson is the president and CEO of Southeast Gas in Andalusia, Alabama. Prior to joining Southeast Gas, he held executive positions in many organizations, including Power South Energy Cooperative and Price Waterhouse. He holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Business Administration from Auburn University, and his new album, An Andalusia Christmas, will be out just in time for the holidays. Please welcome Greg Henderson.
Hey, Greg, thanks.
Don't know where that came from.
He just makes stuff up. It's all good, man. And you wouldn't want it any other way, right?
Of course not.
So, Greg, how long you been with APGA?
1998 is when I got into the gas business, and my predecessor, Jim Smith, believed in APGA, got me coming to that, and first meeting was Long Beach, California. Been coming ever since.
Wow. You're a mainstay in our outfit. I've watched you and enjoy having you around. You're honest, you're straightforward, and you call it like it is, and that's what we appreciate.
Well, thank you. I always try to follow the golden rule. I was taught it in first grade and kindergarten before that, Sunday school before that, and it's a good business principle as well as anybody else, life principle. So,
amen to that. So tell us a little bit about what you guys do.
Well, Southeast Gas is a local distribution company, much like Huntsville Utilities. We have about 32,000 customers. Retail customers. We also serve about a 12,000 square mile area, so we have a lot of room to cover, but we don't have a lot of density. So therefore, we have a lot of people scattered out. We also have a separate company called Southeast Energy Authority that does long-term gas acquisitions for other municipal entities. That's about a $2 billion company. But the one that pays the bills and keeps the heat going is Southeast Gas. It's headquartered in Andalusia, but we have 15 offices around Southeast Alabama, about 185 employees. But it's been around since 1952. It was actually the first South gas district in the state of Alabama. So
wow, I actually got to watch you do something, and we're playing in it, and our guy Donnie Sharp plays in it, which is the prepay.
Yep.
Can you, real easily, tell us what that's all about?
Sure. Prepaid gas transactions are where a municipal entity like us, we're publicly owned, gas system owned by 14 cities in South Alabama, you will prepay or you buy the gas in advance for 30 years. You borrow the money, and then you give it to an entity like a Morgan Stanley or a BP or someone like that, and you prepay the gas. In exchange for that, you receive that gas over the 30-year period at a discount to index because you've given them the money up front, which you've borrowed the money through public offering. Then you get it cheaper, and so we do a bunch of financial transactions to move it to an index. So if the gas price is $3 this month, we get it at $3 minus 30 cents. Same thing for the participants. If the gas goes to $8, you still get it 30 cents cheaper. So you're always below market. But that's made an advantage for publicly owned gas systems that we are able to pass along. And so we aggregate other municipal systems, like we sell to Philadelphia Gas Works, but we also sell to Gordo, Alabama. And so a perfect example of that is you'll never make enough money off of the fee. We charge 3 cents to do the deal for that, but you'll never make enough money off of Gordo to pay for the lawyer's fees. But it's the right thing to do because it's publicly owned gas system. The customers that buy gas in Gordo have just as much right to buy cheap gas as people in Huntsville and Andalusia and Philadelphia and everywhere else. And so that's the concept.
Well, and when you see situations like we have now where the price is doing things that 3 years ago nobody really thought was going to happen.
8 months ago no one thought was going to happen. I'm serious.
And so now you've got this situation. If you've bought into something like this and you're in year 5, year 6, how is it affecting your long-term? I mean, are you going to burn through that a lot quicker because the price has gone through the roof?
No, because see, we swapped them back to a floating discount, a fixed discount on a floating price. So if gas is $3, you've got to buy it. If it's $8, you have to buy it.
Right.
But if you're a municipal entity in a prepay, you're buying it at $2.70 and $7.70. So your ratepayer's still saving 30 cents regardless of the top price of the gas.
So you haven't agreed to buy a set amount of gas. You've agreed to buy gas for a certain amount of time.
You know, you've bought a certain amount, but you haven't set the price.
Okay.
Your price goes up and down with the market each month, but you're buying it cheaper than the market. So like I will do it for, let's say I burn 10,000 a day, I'll do 5,000 under one of these deals. So that 5,000 is going to be cheaper than my other 5,000 by 30 cents.
Okay.
And will always be cheaper by 30 cents.
Donnie Sharp tried to explain this to me once several years ago, but it was in San Antonio at a dinner, and you were having everybody sample different types of bourbon.
Oh, yeah.
And he might as well have been speaking French, because finally I told him, I said, Donnie, just stop.
But let me say this, and then not to get to my next question, but I like this, because prepaid is very important to us. We in Huntsville Utilities have some transport customers only.
Right.
And I am fighting all the time to get those guys to change over and let us buy.
They are.
Because it's cheaper.
Yeah, and that is a movement. Actually, we've been talking to Donnie and some of your guys. We've got 2 more deals that we're trying to get done, but there's a good chance that your guys are going to be in that group. And so it's a way for you as a public entity to pass along something those guys can't do at the end use. So it's good for everybody. Good for the ratepayer, good for the end use. Keeps your industries in Huntsville.
But that's a big deal in your space.
It's a big deal in our space.
We all know the prepaid guy. There's other places you can go, but we like to stay in Alabama and go with you.
Well, we try to. I mean, the other entities that do the deals are good entities. I'm not saying they're not, but you know, we try to start at home, and it's like concentric circles. You know, we start with a small circle and then move out. I mean, we sell to Philadelphia, but we sell to ourselves and to people around us. So. The rising tide will float all the boats up higher.
Exactly.
So, but I appreciate that. We enjoy working with Huntsville.
Well, Donnie Sharp is a known name in our community, and Greg Henderson's a known name in our community. I want to change gears a little bit with you. I have a theme this year of freedom to fuel, and I've been basically beating a drum of I just don't want the government telling me that I got to electrify. I want freedom of choice, and I'm a veteran, so I fought for that right. What do you think about that?
I think that's perfect. I think that we all should, and Alabama is unique. Alabama, along with about 18 or 19 other states, 2 years ago passed a law called customer choice, and we were very involved. Todd and I talked to you about it, and we were able to stop something that was going through that was not going to help all of us public entities, but we got it changed and rewritten, and it says that if you're in Alabama, you're customer, you will pick your choice of fuel, whether it be electricity, whether it be natural gas, whether it be propane. We don't care. It's going to be your choice, and no governmental entity, a body,
city council,
or commission can tell you what you can use. And that's no better illustration of what your freedom of choice is and freedom of fuel. And we have that right. Not all the states. It's not true in all the states. It's not true in some on the West Coast. And they are told what they can and cannot buy, and therefore they're told what they're going to pay, which is a lot higher than we are here. So that's a perfect example.
No, and we had our mayor on the other day, and he didn't say it as well as you did, but he said the same thing. He knows that, because Todd kind of phrased it, we're Alabama, what do you think? Well, you just answered, what do you think? It ain't happening.
Right.
Because we voted on it,
That's
and
exactly
it's a state thing, and it's freedom of choice is a big deal.
And you have other states, and of course California is the one that immediately pops to everybody's mind, that they're going in the opposite direction.
Correct.
They're trying to ban everything, even they don't even want to sell gas-powered vehicles in the next few years. And I think states like Alabama and states predominantly in the South are reaping the benefits of that, because everybody in the country has seen the growth that's going on in Huntsville.
It is.
And a lot of it is a direct. We've got our big Toyota Mazda, and when they came to Huntsville, they're like, we got to have natural gas.
Absolutely.
And
we have seen a 10% customer growth in the last 7 years in the environment we're in, where fossil fuels is a bad word, but our customers are wanting more and more of it.
Amen to that.
So we're doing everything we can to provide it for them at a safe, reliable price, actually.
And the thing that I wonder about, because yes, there's the mindset in Alabama of that, and I think it's safe to say it's a statewide.
Yes.
But every part of the state is different.
Yes.
And I would think, and maybe I'm wrong, but down in your part of the state, where there's a lot more, a lot of the tourism is based on the environment, that you're probably a bit more likely maybe to hear from the general public, and maybe from local law agents or elected officials, a little bit more pushback against natural gas than maybe we're hearing up in Madison County. I could just be misreading.
Yeah, we really don't, quite frankly. My wife's from Huntsville. She actually graduated with Donnie from high school, from Lee High School, Dodie Spurgeon. And so when we go home, I've been going up to Huntsville since 1981 when I met her, and I've seen the city just grow and prosper very methodically and planned. I'm so impressed by it. But I don't think we have the infusion yet that you guys have because of the high tech and because NASA and Redstone and the FBI. We do have intelligent people that come to South Alabama. I'm not saying they're not, okay? But I do think we don't have as broad of appeal from across the country, maybe, Todd, as you guys do. But we haven't seen a lot of pushback. We've actually seen people embrace it a lot. We don't get the cold weather you guys do.
That's true.
Last year on November 4th, I was in North Alabama. It was 42 degrees. It was 62 in Andalusia and Dothan. And I called a couple of my friends in the gas business and said, how can you not make money in the gas business in North Alabama? Gas is just appreciated up there, I believe, with y'all a lot more.
So. Well, Greg, we appreciate your time.
Oh, I enjoy it,
Appreciate
John.
what you do, man. And we're glad you're on the APGA team.
Well, I appreciate you, John. Todd, thank y'all.
Thank you, sir. Freedom to Fuel is produced by Huntsville Utilities in cooperation with the American Public Gas Association. The views expressed by the hosts and guests do not necessarily reflect those of HU or the APGA. Our audiovisual engineer is Amanda Tomczyk-Kemp with additional production elements provided by Jeffrey Long. If you have a comment or question, post it in the comments below. And remember, the freedom to fuel is only natural.